Mic check, 1 2 3 3 2 1. You're welcome.
I got here as soon as I could. I got here as soon as I could, man. You alright? Come here. No, no, excuse me one second. Come here. It's alright, man. I know. I'm so sorry. Believe me, I'm so sorry, man. Believe me, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's alright, man.
Mic check. We're good. We're good. All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I know we assembled, or we called this press conference this evening to discuss the search for Thaddeus Smiley, but I do want to start this press conference off sharing or discussing a little bit about a search that we had yesterday involving a small child in Arlington. So I'll kind of start off with a few comments, and then we'll move into our efforts here today, and we'll take a few questions from there. So at approximately 10 a.m. yesterday, deputies with the Shelby County Sheriff's Office was dispatched to the 1000 block of Oilfield Lane in response to a report of a missing and endangered child. Upon arrival, deputies obtained critical information from the family and immediately began searching the area of where the child was last seen. The Sheriff's Office deployed drones and mobilized nearly a dozen deputies with assistance from nearby residents who also joined in the efforts to search for this child. Utilizing drone technologies, this is something that we recently invested in at the Sheriff's Office over the last year. So we used some drones to help in the search. We were able to locate the child unresponsive in a nearby swimming pool. Deputies swiftly recovered the unresponsive child and began life-saving measures until the Arlington Fire Department were able to arrive on the scene and take over life-saving efforts. The child was transported to LeBonner Children's Hospital in critical condition and was later pronounced deceased at the hospital. Our hearts and our prayers certainly go out to the family as they try to navigate this very, very difficult situation. And I also want to add that in any death investigation, we are always looking into the circumstances that led up to what caused the child to disappear from the home as well as enter into the pool. So we have a full-fledged death investigation going on surrounding the circumstances with that particular case. And so again, our hearts and prayers go out to the family of this child, and certainly we want to make sure that we bring this case to closure and try to figure out how can we prevent such an incident from happening again. And so I certainly want to cover that, and now we'll kind of talk a little bit about the efforts here on the Wolf River. Before I get into those comments, I do want to invite family members from Mr. Thaddeus Smiley, and I also want to invite Battalion Chief O'Neill with the Memphis Fire Department to join in on this press conference. And so I'll offer, again, some brief comments regarding where we are in the search, and then I'll ask Battalion Chief O'Neill with the Memphis Fire Department to step forward and offer some comments as well. And I think we'll have some remarks from Memphis City Councilman J.B. Smiley, who represent the family as well. So at approximately 2:45 p.m. today, the search for 31-year-old Thaddeus Smiley, 31-year-old Thaddeus Smiley came to a tragic conclusion, and the search and rescue efforts to recover his body began. And so we were able to locate his body about a half mile downriver from where he went into the water. And so since we started this search, we have utilized probably more than 100 volunteers and employees, search and rescue employees of the Shelby County Sheriff's Office. And so we've utilized drones, we've been on the water in boats ever since he went into the water. And so today we kind of transitioned a little bit, and we used a training aid commonly in these types of incidents that resembles a mannequin. And we were able to place that mannequin inside of the water and kind of follow that mannequin downriver until we were able to locate Mr. Smiley in the water. And so we certainly want to make sure that we thank all of those who helped us in this search, members of the Memphis Fire Department, members of the Millington Fire Department, members of the Germantown Fire Department, as well as members from the Shelby County Fire Department, all joining together in a team effort to try to locate Mr. Smiley. And so I do want to speak real quickly about, some of the things that we do to try to, prepare for days like today. So standing behind me are two of our volunteers from Search and Rescue. And so annually, they spend about 100 hours per year practicing for days like today. It's unfortunate, but obviously it's necessary. And so before I came up this afternoon, I asked them questions like, what is it that you would ask the public to do? And one of these rescuers said he's been doing this since 2013, and he's never recovered someone from the Wolf River who was wearing a life jacket. Let me say that again. He's been doing this since 2013, searching the river for drowning victims, and not a single person who had been recovered out of the Wolf River since 2013 has been wearing a life jacket. So here's what we will offer to the public, and here's our plea to the public. Anytime that you are around swift water or unfamiliar water, such as the Rift River, bring some type of life-saving jackets, with you. The Wolf River is very unpredictable for the most experienced people. And so you may come out here a month from now and the currents are little to none, but then 2 weeks from now, it could be racing and rushing, flowing water. And so we plead to the public to make sure that you have those types of equipment with you if you're going to be around unfamiliar water. But then also, as we asked the other day, to please invest or consider investing in some type of swim lessons if you're unfamiliar or less comfortable inside of water. And so I'll now turn it over to Battalion Chief O'Neill to speak on behalf of the Memphis Fire Department. Chief.
Thank you, Chief Buckner. It's Barry O'Neill, B-A-R-R-Y, O''N-E-I-L-L. First, I'd like, on the behalf of the Memphis Fire Department, to extend our deepest condolences to the Smiley family. We really hope that after today, they'll be able to enter the path to peace that they so truly deserve, and we're so deeply sorry for their loss. Second, I'd like to say how much we appreciate the efforts from all the people that were involved. The volunteers, the Sheriff's Department, the multiple different fire departments, Germantown, Millington, Shelby County. This was truly a single team effort made up of multiple agencies, and without the 100% collaboration that we had, we would not have had the outcome that we had today. Thank you for your time, and again, as the Chief said, please, if you're on the water in a boat, near the water, and you're uncomfortable swimming or in water that you're not familiar with, wear a life vest. There's really not much more that we can say than that. Protect yourself, protect your loved ones, and be safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief O'Neill. Now we'll have comments from Memphis City Councilman J.B. Smiley.
It's different. Just want to thank the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Shelby County Sheriff's Search and Rescue, Memphis Fire, Millington Fire, Germantown Fire, each agency that showed up to support our family. Thank the countless volunteers who showed up, put in so much time to just help us. My family's been here, every single day. Many of us, when we got the call, we abruptly came here because that's what we do. We show up as a family. We stick as tight as we possibly can. We receive all the prayers from the Memphis community, the text messages. We say thank you from the bottom of our heart. Standing here with that is his father, my brother, his husband, sister, cousins, family, just family members showing up for one another. We wanted, my nephew to come back to us safely, more than anything in the world. But we're deeply grateful that folks continue to show up every single day, continue to send us prayers, continue to send us well wishes. And we didn't get the result we wanted, but we got something that was deeply important to every single person that uses a Smiley name. Our family member, our beloved Daddy Smiley, is back with us. He's no longer in the river. We know exactly where he is. And that wouldn't have been possible without the Shelby County Sheriff's Office, Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, the Memphis Fire, Germantown, and Millington Fire, and the countless volunteers. So on behalf of my family, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Well, to see it all. Thank you.
So as you heard in the other incident, obviously the Sheriff's Office has launched a depth investigation surrounding the circumstances of Mr. Thaddeus Smiley, and so our detectives will be going over statements on what occurred before this incident happened, so we can piece together all that happened and provide some additional closure for the Smiley family. And so with that, we'll take any questions you may have.
On Friday, you described the conditions of the river, so just tell me a little bit more about the conditions from Friday to Sunday, how they were for the crews when you guys searching for Thaddeus.
So the conditions of the river didn't change much in terms of its complexities, in terms of the danger. And so our divers are not immune, or our search and rescue teams are not immune to the troubles of the Wolf River. And so we have to use extreme caution to try to navigate and search the river. And so I know at one point in time there was a downed tree in the river, and so our crews had to use chainsaws to cut the tree up so we could get to some areas that we thought were curious in terms of searching for Mr. Smiley. And so it was very, very dangerous for our crews. And so we're so thankful because, again, majority of the people who were out on the river were volunteers. They're everyday people with their own jobs and their own lives, but they stepped away from their families and they stepped away from their jobs to do something important for our community. And so we're so grateful because, again, they risked their lives, trying to bring closure to the Smiley family. Any other questions?
Lastly, what would your message be? This is a popular place for people. The summer is approaching. What would your message be for people to, practice precaution and just prevent another tragedy like this from happening?
Yeah, so since this particular situation has really garnered a lot of attention from the public, I've been stopped, in shopping centers and restaurants with questions about, this particular incident. And the last few people who I've had an opportunity to converse with talked about considering swim lessons. Some have been contemplating, some have started the process, just haven't paid. So my message to the public is this: if you've been questioning, should you sign up or should you take swim lessons? This is for children, but then also is for adults. Today is your answer. Today is your answer. And so we encourage the public, if you are uncomfortable around water and you're going to be around water, please take some type of swimming lessons. If you're uncomfortable around water, even with swimming lessons, please have life vests on or nearby. And so that's the plea that we have for the public today. We don't want to be back out here a week from now or a month from now. We understand that we're in the season of the year where a lot of kids and a lot of families are out on waters, they're in swimming pools, a lot is happening. And so we're begging for the public to please invest in swim lessons, invest in life vests if you're going to be around water. And then I want to extend that comment just a little bit more. We also understand that there are a lot of families that may have alcohol around swimming areas. We're asking for someone to be designated as being the lookout. If you're going to have children in water, please don't drink. Have someone designated to watch children and make sure that that they're conducting themselves safely around water. Any other questions?
How common are water rescues on this river? Is this a particularly dangerous river, or can you talk about that?
So, unfortunately, we're out here probably annually performing some type of water rescue or some type of search. So we hope that this will be the last time that we're here this year. We're hoping that this message will resonate throughout the community, so we won't be back return out here looking for someone. But I think it speaks volumes when a rescuer says, since 2013, he's been involved with several search and recovery operations, and for the recoveries, not one time since 2013 has a person been recovered wearing a life vest. And I think that speaks volumes. Thank y'all so much.